Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I love that as Catholics we celebrate Christmas as a season, not just the octave, but a full season. And that this weekend we will celebrate the Epiphany. And when we celebrate the Epiphany, there's several Epiphany moments throughout salvation history and throughout Jesus' time on earth. But liturgically, we celebrate the three wise men. So you can see them. They're getting closer. They're almost there. So my favorite, especially in the Christmas hymns, We Three Kings, always, it's my favorite one. But we wouldn't be able to get there. We wouldn't be able to celebrate the Epiphany of the Lord revealing himself to the nations, which is why these three wise men from the east come and visit Jesus and do him homage. We couldn't celebrate them without the one to bring Jesus into the world as a human, Mary. Jesus is God. That does not mean Mary is greater than God or that she came before God. Because Jesus is God the Son. God the Son of God the Father. And that does not mean that God the Son is less than God the Father, or that there was a time when he wasn't, and that God the Father was before God the Son. That's not what it means. And yet, Jesus is God the Son. As we claim in our creed, true God from true God. Begotten, not made. If he was made, that would mean that there was a time when he didn't exist and now he's existed. The fact that he's begotten means that he is of the same substance as God the Father. And what do mothers do? They beget children. All of us are begotten by our parents. And so the reason why the church upholds and celebrates so greatly this feast, this solemnity of Mary, the Mother of God, is to hold up the truth about who Jesus is. Everything the church teaches about Mary, especially at the level of dogma, is to uphold who Jesus is. It's to defend the truth about our God. To defend the truth about Jesus who has come to us as a little baby to save us. Because we, compared to God, are like little babies who need everything from a parent, from someone who's responsible. And God chose Mary. I would not want that responsibility. But Mary, of course, at the beginning of the Mass, before Mass began, we sung, Gentle Woman. Yeah, okay, gentle woman, sure. Probably great in her gentleness, raising that infant child. But yet, she was tough. She was rugged. She was able to walk from Nazareth to the hill country after having this great proclamation from the Archangel Gabriel of God's plan for her. And in her courage and in her trust of God, she says yes. And then goes to Elizabeth and is there to help her in the final months of Elizabeth's supernatural pregnancy. Because she was barren, and now she has a child. And then she walks with Joseph from Nazareth. Well, okay, I should say, then she walks back to Nazareth. Okay, then she goes from Nazareth to Bethlehem, which is even further. It's a several-day walk. Several days. They had no cars or trucks back then. She walked that pregnant, fully pregnant, with God. I don't know if that made him heavier or lighter in her belly. I don't know. I still wouldn't want that responsibility. So Mary, gentle woman, mother of God, she begets Jesus. Jesus is begotten of God the Father because he is divine. Jesus is begotten of Mary, not made by Mary, because he existed before her. And yet, he was begotten by Mary because Jesus is also fully human. To proclaim Mary as the mother of God is to defend Jesus' humanity and divinity. How can a human be the mother of God? And yet we maintain that title. She is Theotokos in Greek, which specifically means God-bearer. She bore him in her womb and birthed him. She is a mother. But she is not God. She never will be. And so we give her due honor. Or do we? That's a personal question. In our own lives, do we give Mary due honor? Do we truly look up to her and say, Mary, you took on a great responsibility. Help me do the same. Not the same responsibility. Already said that, don't want that one. Oh, but so many responsibilities we have in our own lives. Whether we are male or female, we are to look to Mary and honor her and ask her for help and intercession because of her closeness to God, because she bore him. Not bored him to death. She was the one who was bearing him in her womb. She is God-bearer. If she can bear that, she can bear whatever struggle you're going through. You honor her by asking her for help and intercession. In our readings, we hear of the Aaronic blessing. Parents, give this blessing to your children regularly because you have a responsibility of your children, over your children. But don't do that alone. Ask Mary for help. Mary, how did you do it? Ask God for help. Lord, bless them. Bless your children, parents. As we enter into the new calendar year, 2021, whatever you look for something different, you look for more of the same. I don't know who is looking for more of the same in 2021, but just in case, whatever you're looking for, make sure it's with God. Because maybe things will just get worse. Maybe for the nation, or just maybe in your own family, whatever happens, whatever that might look like. Know that God is still with you. I'm sure there was many times that Mary thought, oh man, things can't get any worse. And then she loses her 12-year-old boy in Jerusalem as she's walking, going home with the rest of the family, and wait a minute, where'd my boy go? Oh no, things can't get any worse. Well, it took 3 days to find him. Stop saying that. Stop saying things can't get any worse. Because it doesn't matter if they get worse or better. What matters is that God is with you. That's why Jesus is called Emmanuel, God with us. And we wouldn't have him with us if it wasn't for Mary. So go to her in order to go to Jesus. Throughout 2021, so that no matter what comes our way, we know that the Mother of God is with us as well. She's got our backs. She is interceding for us if we only ask. She is asking God to bless us, as any good mother would do for her children. And Mary's children is the church. If you're part of the church, you're her children. Ask her for God's blessing. May you have a wonderful, may you have a God-centric and God-filled and God-blessed 2021.